Ghana for where the Arewosem Kessie Pan and Atu John Dramani Mahama, I want office pan chese. A seminar made a brown no podium. Yankasa kana miti story no, be mukra ashim ye pan. Arewosem Ben Atu John Dramani Mahama and NDC4. One would say, yeah, mamma, just say, in seminar dear yin jaikan de yin jaka china. Because a mamma semi dear, I the judge, but you see. Ye mamina semna babe to hono. Yes, nyama be a nanka was John Dramani Mahama or yen one ye. And no crack countia. Sa semnina I the jar, I will court na the rufo. Arewosem Kessie Pan to John Dramani Mahama, or for myself say, Ubedi mechi ni akwakutie nientia John Dramani Mahama ni NDC abanya omutisu omuaba asem dindindia Ghana fo nyina eka ho asem anase Ghana fo nyina eche omadwen a ensem ai deja ofa ye kan wasem ofa ye kan wasem ofa ye kan wasem baby biara obefa bia obi aka ho asem rofo mese so bedi mechi ni akwakutie san ensem nyina nchirim e Ghanatube amachisia.
To be very honest with you, lawyers, we like to be guided generally by Supreme Court decisions, right? Because that's the final court. Unfortunately, on this particular one, I don't seem to remember how the Supreme Court has clarified which aspects the High Court can deal with, right? Yeah, so there's not much. Braku Powers agrees that there's no decision that says the High Court can deal with this part and not that part. So now that she has entered, if the lawyers, for the Attorney General will raise the matter of jurisdiction, and when it is done, just like the other one, the removal itself. You see, Dr. Sremsai raised some preliminary some questions to be set down to the Supreme Court. So in the same way, in this case, that's likely to arise. Then that one will be set down for the Supreme Court. Then the Supreme Court will show the way. That one, then we'll learn from it, because matters like this, naturally, if you ask me as a lawyer, I can espouse a view, but because we've not developed the law that well, the Supreme Court may have a different view. Let's be patient about it. Well, as I've always stated, I wish we would get closure on this matter, right, far earlier, but it appears Justice Tokono is not willing to have closure. She wants to continue going and going. So let's grant her her right? Yeah, she has a right to challenge. So when they get in there, the matter of jurisdiction may be raised again for the Supreme Court to determine. And when the Supreme Court determines it, then we know. Whichever way, bottom lines, at the end of the day, she wants to hold the committee accountable. And that one, she has a right to. As for the accountability, it can never be denied. So whether it will be done in the High Court or Supreme Court, we don't know. But so accountability, yes.
After holding the commission accountable, and what happens? Will she be reinstated? I'm just asking. Is it possible that she can hold them accountable, and that would sort of override the decision that has been already taken to remove her? Is it possible? I'm asking you.
Why? Unless it's so egregious.
Because I'm asking myself.
Unless it's so bad, what went on there is so bad that no human institution will countenance it, then that's how she can win. But with what we've seen, there are a few problems. I think, look, in all of this, what she has most going for her, in my estimation, is the failure of the president to give the reasons for the prima facie. Yes, that's one.
That's the subject matter of the judicial.
No, she's raised it. Hey, she told them, let's go.
Sina, if you look at
let me show you why she's raised that one there. It will come to haunt us for years to come. Because when that was done to Chatuchikata, we were up in arms that the judiciary didn't do well. They didn't do well, okay? They didn't do well because the Supreme Court itself, when Chatuchikata was not giving the prima facie thing, the Supreme Court itself said the trial judge's failure to give the reasons for the prima facie ruling just shows bias, malice, thoughtlessness. Yes, after saying all that, at the end of the day, he said, but it's not sufficient to cancel the whole trial. So as for, and that's 2003, 2004, Chatuchikata's case. 2003, 2000. So the Supreme Court itself having set that standard that if you don't give reasons, you give way for people to think that you are biased, you are thoughtless, you are malicious. I thought that this one, we should have done it. So, as for the failure to give Tokonu the prima facie reasons, it's bad. It's bad in this process.
No,
but
I think
not
senior, with respect. But senior, you see the reliefs.
Which one? No. And I'll justify. Okay, you read.
Yeah, so senior, hold on. He says, please take note, so and so.
Yes.
For the following reliefs.
Yes.
A, an order of certiorari bringing up into this court for the purpose of being quashed and for quashing the proceedings of 15th of May 2025 and the entire proceedings and the outcome of the Article 146 set up to consider petitions to remove the applicant, chaired by Puama JSC. That's relief A. B, an order of certiorari bringing up into this court for the purpose of being quashed and for quashing each and all of the 3 reasons and grounds given. So grounds and reasons.
Yes. But if not, so when you read it, so now.
And so if you go through all the reliefs, he had never questioned, for the purpose of this judicial review, the fact that the prima facie was without reason. In fact, she herself says reasons. Please, with respect. It's not here. At least for this judicial review. Unless, of course, it's a different process. If it's a different process, that's fine.
Let me respond. Please, when you read it, she tells you that that is the foundation. We can get the paragraphs. So what you are reading is the top. It's in there. She says, yes. So she's saying that, you see, in law, what she's saying is that in law, you can't put anything or nothing, it will collapse. Mark 4 versus UAC. So lawyers will, so she's saying that there's, I read it, ADJ also read it. So she's saying that the relief is the final outcome. Why is she asking for the relief? The reason she's asking for, she says you have no foundation. So anything you put on it will collapse. That's what she's saying. There are several paragraphs where she says she was not given the reasons for the prima facie. So her case is that once she doesn't have the reasons for the prima facie, you can't even do the hearing. And I'm saying that one she won't win, because in the same Chachuchikata case, what they did was that they just berated the trial judge for not giving the reasons. But they said it's not sufficient to cancel the case to say, Chikata, because you were not giving reasons for prima facie, walk free. And that one was even a criminal trial, where Chikata's liberty. Excellent. So that one was a higher things were at stake, liberties, right? Personal liberties. Yeah, the Supreme Court said when Justice Henrietta Aban didn't give reasons for the prima facie, though it was bad, it was thoughtless, it was malicious, it showed bias, etc. But still, the fact that Chikata should open his case was a good decision. It should stand. And then ADG yourself, you've been citing the other case, 2017. Is it
Michael Asamoah?
But yes, so you also have it. So she will not win, but that one, it will come to haunt us for years to come. That if in 2003, 2004, we said failure to give reasons is bad, it's not good for our governance, why are we repeating that in 2025? That's a separate argument, but that's not sufficient for her to win the case. Okay. So let's go on. So now the thing is that, so when
can I chip something? No, just chip something.
Unless that is on the permission of
Sina, with respect to enrich the conversation. Yes. You see, she grounds the reliefs, the 4 reliefs, on specific grounds.
Yes.
And the grounds start from Roman numeral 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Each one of them, it is in respect. So for instance, ground 1, that all of the alleged findings, and ground 4, recommendation of the committee set up by the president, not the prima facie. Roman numeral 2, the findings and recommendations of the committee. 3, the first alleged finding and recommendation. 4, the first alleged finding and recommendation of the Puaman. So throughout, the attack is the Puaman committee. The findings and recommendations. Findings and recommendations. In fact, there is no specific instance that she even brings up the issue of the prima facie determination by the president and the Council of State. And I am making
several paragraphs.
Also, when you read it, the affidavit is there.
Judicial we are doing law. And judicial review has released grounds.
You've had your so let's go. Look, even before paragraph 94, before paragraph 50, she raised it. But look, another lawyer who has read it says we should start with 94. So let's go to 94 and I'll tell you that before 50, I read it. So let's go straight to 94.
So 94, where exactly are you looking at?
94, I'm just scrolling. Don't say she
No, it's 94. Just look at
it's 94.
That the proceedings, the refusal to give me a copy of the alleged prima facie determination. That should have determined what case I was to answer in the proceedings. And the current refusal to also give me a copy of the alleged report allegedly recommending my removal from office as Chief Justice. And the alleged reasons communicated by the Secretary of the President as the reasons given by the Paramount Committee for recommending my removal as Chief Justice from office show a reckless disregard for my rights as a citizen to procedural and substantive justice. And a total lack of any reasons for removing me from office as Chief Justice found in the petitions referred for hearing, and an insistence on presenting any sham excuse for removing me from office while hiding behind the veil of in-camera proceedings, and a refusal to give me a copy of the report as if I do not merit the minimum humane treatment of even being given a copy of the record explaining the reasons for taking my rights and entitlement for me. So after that's the paragraph.
And before that, even before paragraph 50.
Martin, can I quickly, can I just clarify a few things? Let me clarify. You see, when you do a judicial review,
order for chese in some na edija no chese yes yamfa report na ade nyina amfa amano omama na ehu nienti a omuyi na fi akonwa so as the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana any Justice of the Supreme Court nti no muni na ndi ni njo chese awo sem kese pa na atu John Dramani Mahama ni NDC aban enam kwan a omode ye maame efa so a chese nsem na idija escalate a obi aka ho asem am so bigini nyina bro e Ghanatube from we fi like no ma subscribe no ma share no ma hit notification bell so ma se na be ya abini abibia e drop content say ya wo we jana ntempa no ahwe ni temodofo aha e na be de nsem nyina bi si Ghanatube so makram nyina medam nyina se bibre